Hey, thanks for stopping by. Jarrell here. I'm the developer behind Silver Falls at Sungrand, and I just wanted to have a check-in and a bit of a chat before the end of the year. Why don't we have a sip of our coffee? We can hang out for a bit. Now, what I first wanted to let you guys know about is I've actually put Campfire Stories on temporary hold so I can prioritize our Wii U game. The reason being is that there is not a lot of time to finish the Wii U title and submit that to Nintendo, as Nintendo will be ceasing new game submissions in 2022. So we really need to get our Wii U game out of the way. So for the next about 4 weeks, I'm going to be working on this, and I'm going to have to pick up some crazy hours again in the office to get this game done and submitted on time, but it's looking to be a whole lot of fun. Whoop. I just finished the character database, the skill database, and the weapons database. What that means is the data entry for all that stuff is input into the game. There's a lot of characters that are playable in the extra mode of the game, so I may be looking to trim that back depending on how our development time looks. And there's going to be a ton of skills as well. So for people that enjoyed Three Down Stars and the skill board in Three Down Stars, and how that game let you create just really unlimited options in terms of your play style, and how you wanted to go about dishing out ridiculous amounts of damage. Um, our Wii U game, White Inside Its Umbra, will also have a very complex system that again lets you play creatively. All the characters have their own different skills. They have a skill wheel, and you activate their skills by using skill spokes, and all the spokes have different shapes. I'd covered this information in a video prior, so feel free to check that video out if you'd like to hear more details about the Wii U title. But as I was going along, I ended up coming up with a lot of skills that I hadn't originally um, planned on. And you don't really come up with those until you're sort of uh, in the thick of it. You know, you're sort of uh, elbows and knees down in the jungle, scraping, through the bush. And that's when you start coming up with really cool ideas. And I wanted to share you my thought process on how that works. So when I'm creating a framework for a game and I'm coming up with the system, I try to come up with as many actions that the player can perform and situations that the player can find themselves in. And what the philosophy I have is, how do I reward the player for performing those actions? At the end of the day, when you're playing, a shooting game, say for example, Three Down Stars, Frontier Fighters mode, you can just pick up a gun and you can hold the trigger down and you can shoot all day long. And that gets very dull. You're just shooting things, that's not interesting. But the player can perform, say, for example, to make my point, the player can crouch, the player can dodge roll, the player can reload, the player can perform melee attacks. Now, the skills, when I'm designing skills, I think, how can I reward the player for doing those things? So I created a skill, for example, to where when the player crouches, the player deals extra damage. I have another skill where when the player crouches and then immediately stands up, if they perform a melee attack, it becomes a new attack that's much stronger and can stun the enemy. I have skills where when the player reloads, the first shot after reloading is substantially stronger. Things of that nature. And so when I'm creating my games, I think, okay, um, I've got to make sure there are a lot of small actions the player can perform so that the player can then be rewarded in extra ways by performing those actions in a way that isn't necessary, but it makes the game more interesting because now the player can come up with their own strategies and they can find reward in feeling like they created this fun way to maximize their damage and deal with their enemies. So with White Inside Its Umbra on the Wii U, you can expect a similar level of depth, while it isn't, as dynamic as Three Down Stars, because in Three Down Stars you have full control of your character, whereas in White Inside Its Umbra, the extra game mode that's action-packed, is an on-rails shooter. But I think that I've done some things that I've never seen in an on-rails shooter in an interesting way, particularly when you're playing multiplayer and you've got friends on the couch with you. I hope people have a lot of fun when they start unlocking skills and getting items with skills attached, and they say, "Whoa, that's pretty crazy." So yeah, and you get to stack up your bonuses for damage, and I'm sort of geeking out a little bit because I I love games just as much as you guys. So I get a little bit lost in the sauce when I start thinking about skill combinations and putting things together. And I think, oh yeah, well if you do that thing and then you do that thing and then this thing and then that thing. Oh man, instead of getting like a 50% bonus to damage, you could put that all up and get like a 275% damage, and oh, you can do a really big attack. So that's the sort of thing that I love in my games, and I hope that's what you guys enjoyed in Three Down Stars as well. So, um, yeah, I'm also finishing up the update to Three Down Stars and also Undertakers. And in Undertakers, we will be adding quite a substantial new game mode, and that's Game C, which will be an RPG battle mode. You'll play the game in handheld portrait, and you'll use the touchscreen, and you'll be able to use a variety of characters. And Dodger Rogers will be joining the roster in Undertakers. And if you connect that to the Heavy Shadow novel, that is pretty close to wrapping up, actually. We're on chapter 17, which I just published. So if you're into a thriller sci-fi, feel free to check out Heavy Shadow on our website. That's free to read. Once all the chapters are out, we'll be preparing to sell paperbacks. And then we're also looking at hardcover as well. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned. And also, please feel free to check out Chapter 17. We released Chapter 16 last week, and I just gave it another edit to fix up some things and add a couple small details and improve the writing a bit. So when I wrote 16 last week, I was uh, really, one hand was typing the novel, the other one was doing game development. So 16 didn't get the attention that it needed. So I uh, gave that another edit last night. I'm quite happy with that, how that chapter turned out. So I hope you guys are enjoying Heavy Shadow so far. Heavy Shadow will have its own code linker system. So when you code link Heavy Shadow, our novel, with Undertakers on the 3DS, you will be able to unlock Dodger Rogers as a playable character after the update. That means that Dodger will be available in Game B and the new mode Game C. So that's pretty exciting, and I hope you look forward to that. And we do also have other games coming to the 3DS. We have Guardians and Metal Exterminators, and then we have some other things as well. I'm hoping to drop a couple secrets and surprises on the 3DS eShop before Nintendo does wrap up accepting new submissions. We also have Undertakers coming to Wii U as well, so you'll be able to play that game on your TV and also the gamepad as well. And yeah, I just wanted to share that stuff with you guys. I'll have a sip of my coffee. Well, it's been a pretty, boy, it's been a pretty wild year. I hope you guys have been healthy and safe and things have been good for you. And yeah, I just wanted to again take the opportunity to thank everyone for their support. I'm so grateful to everyone for supporting Silver Falls and for playing the game. And I'm very sorry I couldn't get another game out before the end of the year, but these games are very demanding in terms of development period. I've slowed down a little bit on my development um, work hours to have a better balance for health. Uh, and thank you to everyone who comments and they chat, they talk about the games that they enjoy. I enjoy talking about games with you guys, and I enjoy when you let me know, hey, I found a certain spot in one of the games, and I thought this was really neat. I enjoy hearing from you guys, so that's really great. And thank you for your concerns and and saying, oh, I should probably not work so many hours. So I'm being a bit more careful with my health now, but we are on a tight deadline to get the Wii U and 3DS games finished and submitted. So there's that. So if you did want to join our Discord, I'll put the link uh, somewhere there. I'll put a hang out with everyone. You can chat on our Discord. Um, we have a Patreon if you want to help support the studio, keep the lights on for the next couple of months. The reason why I'm uh, trying to get that going just for the time being, it won't be a permanent thing, is because now uh, we're having difficulty getting websites and major YouTubers talking about our Silver Falls game. I don't have a marketing budget. I spent all of my savings on the development for the games, uh, and things are really tight in the studio at the moment. We are getting regular sales, but I need to get statistically probably four or five more games out selling before the studio actually is able to support itself financially on a month-to-month basis, which means I'm really hanging in there uh, by the skin of my teeth. But you know what? I've got a pretty good feeling that we're going to get there. That means that I could really use some help though, and if you guys want to tell other gamers about Silver Falls titles, if you'd like to let, YouTubers or websites know about the Silver Falls game, let them know why you enjoy it. If you'd like to leave reviews on other websites, that does make a big difference. It's such a huge help to me, and for everyone that's been doing that, I'm so appreciative. You guys know who you are. You usually, we chat a bit on the messages, and that's always a lot of fun as well. And yeah, and because I've sort of prioritized the Wii U title, I've pushed back Campfire Story so I can finish the Wii U game. Look, I know I'm not going to make a lot of money on the Wii U game. If I, make a handful of sales, that's fine, And in life, you when you're a grown up, you really have to prioritize making sure that you have the finances to support your life. But at the end of the day, money's money. Money comes and money goes. And if you live your life only chasing money and a dollar here and a dollar there, you're going to be miserable. You're not going to be happy. Money literally means nothing. It has value because we say it has value, but it doesn't really mean anything. And at the end of the day, if you live your life chasing thrills and adventure and making cool things for people that if I pump out one last Wii U game and it's something that people have so much fun with, people can spend time with their siblings, their relatives, their friends can come over and enjoy this one last Wii U game and say, guys, you wouldn't believe it. There's this really cool Wii U game that came out. That's what matters to me. That's something that actually is important, is creating something really awesome that people can enjoy with people they care about. And that's my priority with the Silver Falls series. That's why I'm pushing the Wii U title. I think it's something that's going to give people some excitement, and that's way more important to me than, making tons of money. So, Campfire Stories, I'm pushing that back a little bit. We're going to get the Wii U game out, and if only a couple people play it, as long as they enjoy it, that's good enough for me. So, I hope you guys have a great and safe New Year's Eve and a New Year's Day. Go easy on the partying, but be safe and enjoy yourself and have fun. I'm just going to be at home, working, making the most of my time, trying to get the Wii U game done. So I've really enjoyed spending a bit of time with you guys today. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed having a chat. Feel free to, I suppose you can comment down below. Let me know how you're doing and how your year has been, and if you've got great plans. Are you going to jump on a snow sled and ride around the mountains, or I don't know, bake a giant cake or something. I don't know. Uh, it's always good to hear from you guys. So yeah, go ahead and enjoy Heavy Shadow. Be safe, look after yourselves. Take care, and we'll check in again soon.